At around 5:30 in the morning, a door opened inside a luxury home overlooking the Sydney coastline. Someone appeared to leave, but no camera captured Melissa Caddick walking away. No neighbor saw her on the street, and no one could confirm that the person heard near the door was Melissa at all. Her mobile phone remained inside the house, so did her wallet and keys. Only hours earlier, financial investigators had searched the property, examined computers, collected documents, and cataloged jewelry, foreign currency, and luxury possessions. They were beginning to expose the truth behind Melissa's extraordinary lifestyle. But the following morning, she was gone. 3 months later, a shoe containing human remains washed ashore, hundreds of kilometers south of Sydney. DNA confirmed that the remains belonged to Melissa, but the discovery did not reveal when she died, where she died, and what happened after the investigators left her home. I'm Lavi, and this is TruthTube Files, where we investigate scams, deceptions, and unresolved cases hidden behind convincing appearances. This is the story of a woman who appeared to have everything: a luxury home, designer clothes, international travel, successful financial business, and the trust of people who believed she was protecting their futures. But while her clients watched their investment balances grow on paper, their real money was helping financial Melissa's extraordinary life. Melissa Caddick lived in Dover Heights, one of the Sydney's wealthiest coastal areas. She presents herself as an experienced financial advisor who understood markets, investments, and long-term wealth. She knew the language of finance. She understood how legitimate advisors spoke to clients, and she knew how professional investment documents were supposed to look. That made her convincing. Her clients were not random strangers contacted through suspicious emails. Many were friends, relatives, or people introduced through trusted social circles. One person invested because someone they respected had already trusted Melissa. Then another person followed. The recommendations spread through the community. Melissa did not need to earn every customer's trust from the beginning. Their friends had already done part of that work for her. Through a company called Maliver, clients believed their money was being invested professionally. They received polished statements showing shares, account balances, and apparent strong numbers and returns. The documents looked real, the language sounded legitimate, and Melissa's visible wealth appeared to prove that she knew how to make money. But the clients had one major problem. Almost everything they knew about their investments came directly from Melissa. She controlled the information, she provided the statements, she explained the results. And when someone had a question, they returned to the same person who had created the information they were questioning. That is one of the most important warning signs in this case. A document is not trustworthy simply because it contains professional formatting, accounting numbers, or the name of a recognized institution. The real question is whether the information can be confirmed through someone the advisor does not control. Melissa's clients believed they were checking their investments. In reality, they were checking Melissa's story about those investments. The arrangement became more convincing over time. A client transferred money, a positive statement arrived, Melissa answered questions confidently. Nothing immediately appeared to go wrong, so the client invested more. Each statement seemed to confirm that the earlier decision had been correct. By the time large amounts of money were involved, questioning the arrangement had become emotionally difficult. Some clients had also recommended Melissa to friends or relatives. Admitting that something might be wrong meant confronting the possibility that they had unknowingly placed other people at risk. The deception survived through more than false documents. It survived through friendship, embarrassment, loyalty, and fear. Melissa's lifestyle strengthened the illusion. Her expensive home, clothing, jewelry, and travel made her appear financially successful. Clients could look at her and believe that they were seeing the results of an expertise she offered them. But visible wealth does not prove where the money came from. Luxury can be evidence of success. It can also be a performance founded by debt or money belonging to someone else. By 2020, Australian regulators had begun investigating Melissa and Maliver. They examined whether she was authorized to prove the financial services she offered and whether the client money had gone where the investors were told it had gone. On November 11th, investigators arrived at the Dover Heights home. The search lasted for most of the day. The house that had symbolized success was now being examined as source of evidence. Computers could reveal how statements were produced. Financial records could show where the money had moved. Jewelry and luxury possessions could be connected to funds taken from investors. Melissa reportedly appeared relatively calm during the search. But for the first time, the structure behind her public image was being examined by people she could not control. The investigators left at approximately 6:22 at that evening. Melissa remained inside the house with her husband, Anthony Coletti, and her son. Her son later said that he saw her at around 8:30 or 9 that night when she said goodnight. That became one of the fine, reliable accounts of Melissa alive. The next morning, her son heard a door open and close. He assumed it was his mother following her normal routine. But he did not see her. He did not hear her voice, and investigators could never establish that Melissa was the person near the door. There was no confirmed footage of her leaving the property. There was no verified message, destination, or digital trail. Melissa was gone. Police were not formally notified until the following day. By then, investigators were facing incomplete and sometimes inconsistent accounts of the final hours. Anthony gave different versions of events concerning that night and the following morning. The coroner would eventually conclude that he had not provided a completely frank account. However, the official investigation did not establish that Anthony had harmed Melissa. One explanation initially appeared obvious. She may have disappeared deliberately to avoid financial investigation. Police examined the sightings, security footage, possible escape routes, devices, and financial activity. But no confirmed evidence showed Melissa creating a new identity, crossing border, or accessing money somewhere else. The idea she had escaped remained possible only because no one knew where she was. Then, in February 2021, campers discovered a shoe on Bournda Beach, approximately 450 kilometers south of Sydney. Inside were human remains. DNA testing confirmed that they belonged to Melissa Caddick. The discovery proved that she was dead. It did not explain how she died. An expert examined whether the shoe could have traveled through ocean currents from waters near Sydney. They found such journey was possible. But the ocean could not identify when exactly route or reveal where Melissa had entered the water. The remains could not establish whether her death was the result of suicide and accident or the actions of another person. While police investigated the disappearance, the final case continued. Receivers were appointed to identify Melissa's assets and recover as much money as possible from her investors. Her property, jewelry, and luxury possessions were cataloged and sold. The objects that once helped convince people of her success became part of the effort to compensate those she had deceived. But selling assets could not erase the damage. Some victims had trusted Melissa with retirement savings and money intended for their families. Others had introduced people they loved to her. The loss was not only financial. It damaged friendships, confidence, and the victims' trust in their own judgment. On May 25, 2023, Melissa Caddick was officially declared dead. There had been no reliable sighting of her since November 2020, no confirmed communication, no evidence of a secret new life, and DNA had connected the remains found at the Bournda Beach to her. And although the mystery remains unresolved, the fraud leaves us with lessons that are much clearer. Never allow personal trust to replace independent verification. A friend's recommendation may introduce you to an advisor, but it should never be the only reason you believe your money is safe. Confirm that the person is properly licensed. Confirm where your money is actually held. Make sure you can access the investment directly through an independent institution. And remember that a polished document is not proof that an investment exists. Question returns that appear unusually stable. Real markets move, investments rise and fall. Perfect performance should create curiosity, not blind confidence. Most importantly, do not be afraid to appearing rude when your financial future is involved. A legitimate professional will not prevent you from verifying their claims. They will expect it. Sophisticated fraud rarely succeeds because every victim is careless. It succeeds because verification is made to feel unnecessary. Questions are made to feel insulting, and trust is made to feel like evidence. Melissa Caddick created an image powerful enough to convince people that she is protecting their futures. She appeared confident, experienced, connected, and extraordinarily successful. But appearances are not verification, trust is not regulation, friendship is not an audit, and visible wealth does not prove financial integrity. What do you believe that the most important warning sign in this case? Was it the lack of independent access to the investments? The unusually consistent returns? Or the moment personal trust replaced professional verification? Share your answers in the comments and suggest another document case you would like us to investigate. I'm Lavi, and remember, behind every convincing lie, there is evidence waiting to be examined. Sometimes the truth is not a perfect ending. Sometimes it's knowing exactly where the facts stop. Thank you for watching.